Need Pokemon Go PvP coaching? Well, I'm on Medify, so click the link in the video description and take you right to my page. What's up, guys? Got an exciting video, this time featuring the new and exciting Community Day Pokemon. Finally, Niantic has actually created a Community Day where it's actually going to change up the meta. So props to Niantic for that. For once, it's been a long time since we've had a meta shakeup. This meta shakeup seems like almost as big as the Poison rework meta shakeup, which is awesome to see. It's a little bit fresh. The game is getting a little bit stale. I mean, G-Fisk has been the best Pokemon for a year and a half, but I digress. That's enough of my rant. Let's get right into this video. Huge shout out to my Patreon supporters. Could not be doing this without you guys. But yeah, so I have a little bit of a special video for you guys today. I haven't done this before, but I figured you guys are always asking, you're running Walrein. Can I run Shadow Walrein? Well, and I always usually say, yes, you can run Shadow Walrein, or no, you can't run Shadow Walrein in the comments 100 times. But instead, today, instead of telling you, I will show you. We're going to run regular Walrein first, and then Shadow Walrein's going to come in for the last couple sets. This team worked pretty fantastically with both versions of Walrein. Yeah, Walrein's just a pretty good Pokemon. I think I prefer the Shadow version just for the ability to farm down, and then also to transition that damage, that farm down, into more damage with your Icicle Spears. So there are some upsides and downsides of both. Of course, some matchups are better with regular, some matchups are going to be better with Shadow, but I think overall it's just the style of play I like. At least I think Shadow Walrein is a little bit better. It's kind of like the reason to use Shadow Abomasnow, right? Just a little bit more power, you charge really fast, you have Powder Snow so you can kind of farm down. But let's take a look at this team. We have Walrein. I haven't even talked about the other two Pokemon, and honestly they kind of carry this this team a little bit harder than Walrein. It even has Sableye and Trevenant. Normal movesets on both of these guys. This is very similar to the Azu Double Ghost team I've run in the past. But with Walrein instead, I think Walrein actually fits it a lot better here. Instead of having core breakers such as Drapion, you have core breakers such as Obscune and Scrafty. So there's a trade-off. Or Abomasnow as well. Abomasnow completely wrecked the Azu line. Whereas now you have some play. You can actually beat those Pokemon. So I do like this version of the team better than the Azu version. It's just how much better remains to be seen. As well, I want to talk about Walrein and Trevenant. They're ranked number 1 and number 4 on PvPoke's rankings for Great League respectively. Do you think that they might be very good? They're pretty good Pokemon, but I honestly think PvPoke overrates these two Pokemon. They're kind of bait dependent, so if you don't like to bait like me, they're going to perform worse for you than normal. Alright, let's get into the video. Enough of my talking, let's get into the video. The G-Fisk lead, we're going to swap out. This is not a bad lead for Walrein. It says Walrein wins in PvPoke, right? But you got to land the bait. And then the Earthquake, right? Kind of hard to do. 25% chance if both are 50-50s, right? So in this case, I'm going to swap in my Sableye, tank the Earthquake, because I know they're probably going to bring in a counter, and in comes the Azu. I'm going to throw the return. I want to get this Azu nice and low. If I don't even have to throw an Earthquake at it later, that's a big positive. My Walrein is matched up against this G-Fisk, which isn't the best matchup, but if I get an energy advantage out of this, it's not too bad at all. So that's the goal here. I don't really care about Walrein's health too much. In fact, I might even just let it tank a couple play roughs. Regular Walrein, you can see how tanky that is. Shadow Walrein goes into the deep red with 2 play roughs, so the matchup is definitely a lot different here. I'm going to swap out to my Trevenant, get a big farm. Going to throw 7 Shadow Claws. That would make it so they're in an Ice Beam. Throw the Seed Bomb to stop them from getting it there. Now I have a little bit of residual energy, and Trevenant with a little bit of energy with 2 shields is a very scary thing, especially when you know what is in the back. I'm going to go for the CMP tie here, really hoping that this Seed Bomb takes them out, and honestly, I don't think it would have. So kind of glad they shielded. We'll trade shields. That's completely fine. I just didn't want to go shields down. And once again, I'm just going to throw at CMP. Ooh. Yeah, I got a refund. Game's not working properly, but this time it benefited me, so I mean, I'm still going to complain. To be honest, it didn't matter though. Have to throw the Seed Bomb and the Shadow Ball anyways. So even if they had caught that Seed Bomb, I'm still beating them to that next move. And they're going to quit out. So yeah, Trevenant carrying a little bit at the end. You're going to see this happen quite a bit. Trevenant's very squishy, but there's not a lot of fast move pressure in Great League right now, it seems. Walrein versus Walrein, you're going to probably see a lot of this if you're running this team, just because Walrein is new, shiny. People love to run it. So Walrein versus Walrein in regular versus regular, you can throw Earthquake. People probably won't shield because it doesn't do that much. In this case, I'm not going to shield either. You know what? Actually, no, I am. Because I'm running ABB. I want to keep the health on my Walrein a little bit higher. I'm going to swap into Sableye and see what they have in the back. I would really like to still win switch because I don't want Trevenant up against Walrein. That's the reason I don't swap out versus these ice types right away. Even though Walrein doesn't have the greatest matchup, obviously it's a mirror, you want to switch out. Usually in ABB, Trevenant has a pretty bad matchup versus Walrein, at least if it's high HP. So you do want to get it kind of low first. Maybe Trevenant can come back with a energy advantage and take it out with Seed Bomb, something like that. Yeah, my Sableye just has those IVs good enough to get to that final foul play, forcing 2 shields out of the Skarmory, which is fantastic. Gonna come in with the Walrein. Not gonna... Am I gonna shield this? Yeah, because there's no reason not to be with the Brave Bird. Shield and farm down. That's 2 shields on Walrein. Clearly the MVP here. I'm gonna throw my Shadow Ball, but somehow, due to the switch taking a turn, they get there first. But it also pulls me in the CMP. So guess what? Desync CMPs are back. I think as soon as I switch to a new phone, these desync CMPs are just getting me all the time. And same with move sneak throughs, I don't sneak through as much anymore. So not really sure what's happening, but I don't know if it's, yeah, it's a hardware issue or what. Either way, I've got this Weather Ball ready to go. Sorry, not Weather Ball. Icicle Spear. Have I been seeing Weather Ball all video? Icicle Spear. Walrein has kind of like a time capsule, turn back time, like Erica in Survivor. I don't know if you guys will get that reference, but Weather Ball back to pre-nerf version. That's essentially what Icicle Spear is. It's what Weather Ball used to be. So, fantastic move. And Walrein's going to be able to actually close this one out. Alright, next game. We have Umbreon lead. This one's a bit tricky. Umbreon versus regular Walrein. I think Umbreon wins this barely if it's running Foul Play. If, however, an Umbreon is running Dark Pulse for whatever reason, then Walrein wins the 0 shield. So, I think this one is running Dark Pulse, actually. If I remember correctly, there was one, yeah, Dark Pulse. And the matchup did not go the way I expected, because I played the Umbreon matchup a couple times already, and just straight up lost it. Like, barely in the 1 shield, where I have to, 0 shield, where I have to farm down with Trevenant, and I don't quite get to the move. It's quite bad, but usually, if Umbreon is in the front, they don't have another Dark type in the back, which is the main threat to Sableye and Trevenant, so this matchup is going well. I honestly just want to take out this Umbreon. That's all I care about. They're going to come in with Azu, so I don't switch. Even though I'm ABB, if I'm this low, no point switching out. And the reason why is because we have Trevenant, which is a good matchup versus Azu, especially in 2-shield. And we have Sableye, which is a terrible matchup versus Azu. They're going to come with the Beedrill, regular Beedrill as well, so kind of very similar to the team I made in the past, except with an Azu instead of a Venusaur. And they're running Fellstinger. I was not going to protect my Sableye regardless. I was just going to let it go down. They hit me with the Drill Run. That's fine. I'm just going to take some shields. Trevenant can deal with Beedrill. Not too bad either. The problem is if it is ramping up like this with Fellstingers, that's when it gets a little bit tougher for Trevenant. Either way, Sableye going to be able to grab 2 shields here. And the goal here is Trevenant just needs to be able to take down this Beedrill. This Azu cannot really fast move down Trevenant, so as long as Trev is able to take down this Beedrill and shield a Fellstinger even, quite far ahead in this game, honestly, with 2 shields still remaining. Trevenant's going to be able to shield up this Fellstinger, and look how much damage these poison jabs are doing. Oh man, if that was a Shadow Beedrill, oh, it would be quite a bit tougher. Trevenant going to be able to get to that Seed Bomb, and that's just going to take, well, Shadow Ball here. Seed Bomb wasn't going to be enough. Shadow Ball does do a little bit more damage when Seed Bomb is super effective, but it does less damage per energy. So really, you have to know the matchups to be making those plays. Alright, Swampert lead, this is fantastic. The entire team's pretty good against it. We have the Abomasnow come in, and this is a bit tricky. What I really should have done, if it's Swampert into Abomasnow, is swap straight into that Sableye. Because Sableye is the worst matchup versus Swampert here, and it's also the best matchup versus Abomasnow. So I didn't know how much Energy Ball hit for, but oh my god, that's a lot of damage. Since this Walrein is super low anyways, I'm just going to get this last Icicle Spear off before I switch into Sableye. I managed to grab a shield, so shield advantage taken. Not going to shield up the Sableye. Hopefully, I'm hoping that Trevenant can carry in the back. It has a fantastic matchup versus Swampert. So with a shield advantage, it just needs to beat whatever else is in the back in a 2-1 shield advantage. And it can beat something like Skarmory in the 1 shield. So it's not too big of a deal. In this case, we do have Azu instead, which is even better. In fact, this is a bit of a weird team. Swampert lead with no Skarmory in the back and ABA Water. Well, don't want to lose to ABA here. I come in with Walrein. Just tank a move. That's all it's useful for now. And then come in with this Trevenant. Yeah, that Azu had a ton of energy, so I didn't want to be shielding that much. And it's actually play rough Azu, so I don't even need to worry about this that much. You swap into Swampert. I charge up a little bit more. Let's throw the Seed Bomb. One-shot the Swampert, even though I miss a bunch of bubbles there. That was pretty embarrassing. And yeah, that Azu has nowhere to go now. I was going to throw the Seed Bomb just because I know I might need 2 moves there. And I have a shield anyways. I'm going to outpace. And that's 4 wins for Walrein. Pretty impressive display, but you know what? Let's switch it up. Shadow Walrein. If you notice my battery percentage. Oh wait, you can't see it on here, but it completely tanked. Shadow's fault. Of course, just kidding. Okay, Medicham lead. It's a bad lead. Bad lead. You usually swap into Sableye. Medicham lead, you swap into Trevenant though. Just because Sableye doesn't worry about Ice Punch, Trevenant kind of has to worry a little bit more about Ice Punch. In this case, I get the I go for the CMP tie versus this Walrein. Get the Seed Bomb off and force them to throw their energy. What I don't want them to do is farm more, because my Walrein can barely tank an Earthquake at this point. So if I give them any more energy, I'd be in a little bit of trouble. But my goal here is to farm down. And this is what you don't do. Don't throw your move. Don't chicken out. Go for that second Earthquake. Make me throw a move. Instead, if they just throw that Icicle Spear, I don't have to throw my move. I can keep farming. And they're forced to swap into this Medicham. Because they hard swap into Medicham, I've got Sableye ready to go for this. No shield the first move just in case it's a power-up punch. And guess what it is? In this case, another power-up punch. No reason to shield. But these counters are adding up, so I'm going to throw the Foul Play right before they get to their next pup. They're going to shield, so I'll throw my next Foul Play. Oh, I remember this game. And it's a Lantern in the back, so a little bit tricky. Still, my Sableye doesn't have very much HP, so it's kind of all about trying to stop those moves from sneaking through. They're going to throw moves, but honestly, I have 2 shields, so it does not really matter at this point. And I know I have to get to 2 moves. Walrein comes in and I stay in, so that's my deadly mistake here. But it's okay. I still managed to get this Foul Play off and then the next Foul Play off. I should have swapped my Walrein in that case. And kept my Sableye for the Lantern just because the Sparks look like they're doing a little bit less damage than the Powder Stones. Yeah, pick up yet another win. Shadow Walrein. I'm not doing too much there. But it is what it is. Oh, Serperior. We both swap into Sableye's. This turns from a pretty even lead, bait-dependent lead, into a pretty even switch. So, pretty close game here. We'll see how this plays out. I think I make some misplays. Oh, no, I don't think I make misplays in this set. There's a set where I make a couple of misplays. Yeah, you can see my Sableye. A little bit better IVs. Has a little bit more HP here. I'm still going to throw this Foul Play, though, because they're just at their next Foul Play as well. And I do want to win switch here, because I would love to get Trevenant on Serperior. In comes Stunfisk, and I make a little bit of a misplay here. I don't switch. What I should have done is probably swapped into my Walrein, because that's the matchup they wanted. They don't know what I have in the back. But instead I just let Sableye go down, and I let the Stunfisk get an absolute massive farm. So because of this massive farm, I'm actually not going to get to do anything with Walrein yet again. Once again, Walrein going to contribute almost 0 damage to the team. Kind of just a pillow, soaking up all that energy. We're going to throw out CMP here. Or no, I'm not. I'm going to farm a little bit more, trying to sneak a move through. I know I can tank a Rock Slide, but Rock Slide is going to deal a little bit less damage than... Sorry, a little bit more damage than I think Serperior's moves, especially if they're just going to bait with Leaf Tornado. Because I shield now, they're less likely to Leaf Tornado me, which is a big plus. So I'm going to no-shield this. Actually, I forgot they can run Aerial Ace. I completely forgot about that. I would have definitely saved my shield instead, but I guess Serperiors nowadays are mostly running Leaf Tornado, which is honestly, in my opinion, quite subpar. Either way, going to shield up this Leaf Tornado. Yeah, pretty obviously Leaf Tornado. I'm going to throw my Shadow Ball right away, because I know that I win CMP against Stunfisk, it's dry, and we're going to get there at the same time. So even if they swap, going to be able to get the Seed Bomb off. All I needed to do was take out that Serperior, even though it's not taken out. They're still not getting to a move, so Trevenant's going to be able to farm down the Serperior and get another win. So, yeah, energy management, very important on this team. Very important to kind of keep moves on Pokemon and know counts and stuff like that when you're playing these squishy Pokemon. Another Umbreon lead, so we're going to see Umbreon versus Shadow Walrein here. This was my first time playing the Umbreon versus Shadow Walrein matchup. And of course, my IVs for my Shadow Walrein aren't listed. So sorry about that, guys, but they're not very good. As you can see, it maxes out, or sorry, yeah, it gets to 1492. So less than ideal, but I wanted to try the Shadow out. Obviously, I'm throwing with good timing here. Either 1 or 4 Powder Snows after the last move is thrown. So you'll see me do that here. 1, 2. Okay, I straight up lied. This is the one time I don't because I'm just trying to get the move off. But you know what? It comes back to bite me. Because of that, I don't quite get to that move. If I threw on CMP instead, or if I threw with good timing, I would have been able to get to that move. That's a bit tough. In this case, this Umbreon does have quite a bit of energy stored, so I come with the Sableye instead of the Trevenant. So I'm not planning to shield. My goal is that I'm really just hoping that Trevenant can carry this team across the finish line. So I'm just spamming switch. It's Azumarill coming in, and we have Trevenant, and they're not swapping out, so this is an extremely good sign. Gonna throw a Seed Bomb here. With 2 to 1 shield advantage, Trevenant can end this matchup with 100% HP almost, and a ton of energy. I might have to use both shields. That's fine. But the goal here is throw 4 or 7 Shadow Claws, throw the move, see what they do. Yeah, I didn't throw there because they got there before me. I would have got dragged into a desync CMP tie, so I have to be a little bit more careful about that nowadays with the new phone. I only go to 4. I wasn't sure if they overfarmed. I should have been counting better, but I could have gone to 7, no problem. And they swap, and it's Cresselia, and it's Confusion Cresselia, so pretty safe game here. We've got Trevenant with Shadow Ball, we've got Sableye still. They're going to have to throw a move to take out Trevenant if they even get there, which they don't. And then Sableye just has easy pickings versus Confusion Crest. Yep, on to the next game. We've got Obstagoon lead. Oh no, the core breaker to this team. How will I ever win this game? Obstagoon, very tough. I'm going to no-shield my Walrein. For some reason, they love to throw Night Slash. I don't get my move through either. They didn't even fast move deny. I go for the fast move denial there. Get this Icicle Spear off. Does quite a bit of damage. And I'll get to the next one too. And that's without that great IVs, so most Shadow Walrein should be able to do this. Win the 0 shield. So now that I've taken shield advantage back, they are at 5 counters. They deny my move again. So I'm going to shield up. And they get the boost. But I'm going to get to that Seed Bomb at the same time as them because they lagged for a turn. I'm going to throw that. Or no, sorry. They get a move through. And then somehow they throw again and I don't sneak. So that's what I'm saying. I'm not getting sneaks at all. Luckily for me though, they lag a turn. So I get that turn back. We CMP tie on the Seed Bomb. Trevenant's going to be able to take out this Obstagoon. If he was not able to, it would be a completely different story. And then in the back we have a Jellicent. So you love to see it. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. That should be desync. They should not be able to catch a move on 7. But catching a Shadow Ball and Hypno is not exactly what you want to see, and Sableye is a fantastic matchup versus Jellicent in the back. So I'm actually not sure how they managed to switch out. A lot of weird lag-related stuff going on in that game. For both sides. Obviously, they lag too. Jellicent lead. We're going to swap into Trevenant, so this matchup is better for Sableye. That's why we swap into Trevenant. And this is not what you want to see. The Wigglytuff comes right in, and you know what? When you see a Wigglytuff counter swap, like if anyone's running Wigglytuff, it's probably Double Charm. So I honestly probably could have top left it right here and saved the time. I just wanted to see if my Trev would get to that next move. Doesn't quite live that charm, otherwise it would have been able to. Then I can come with the Walrein and just farm down. Have to hope that it's not a Charmer and Sableye can 2-shield through the Jellicent, which it can pretty easily, and whatever else is in the back. But yeah, I'm frantically trying to swap here, and yeah, there it is. The Double Charm, save some time. I mean, it's already a short game because they're running Double Charm, but that's 4 wins. The only loss is to a Double Charm team, and I mean, not much you can do about that. I don't think there's a single play I could have made to win that game, or make to win that game. Walrein versus Walrein, Shadow version. So we saw the mirror match versus regular Walrein. We're going to see the Shadow version. I'm just going to throw right away. And they do too. Their IVs are somehow worse than mine. And they get the Earthquake off. That deals a lot more damage from the Shadow. So I throw the Earthquake. Unfortunately, because it's a CMP tie, I can't bait here. But yeah, they shield up. And now I'm in a little bit of trouble. Now I have to play this very carefully. They're running ABA Water. And yeah, Trevenant is going to have to come in and get an absolutely insane farm to handle this Walrein, because it's not a good matchup. But with an energy advantage, those Seed Bombs really add up. I'm going to come in with my Trevenant right away, because I want to keep this Azu in. I don't want it to be able to switch out, because I need that energy advantage. So I'm going to shield up a Play Rough here. And I actually was thinking, you know what, I can tank a Play Rough, but I'm counting moves, and it doesn't look like they're going to be able to get to their next one. That was their second Play Rough. In comes Meganium. I accidentally throw that Shadow Claw instead of throwing the Shadow Ball. A little bit of an overtap. Able to take that Meganium pretty low. And honestly, I probably should have thrown a Seed Bomb here to prevent it from getting this Frenzy off. But I get kind of low. In comes the Walrein. I can see it coming a mile away. Throw this Seed Bomb. And I should have swapped my Walrein right here. What am I doing? I farmed their Walrein down instead. And now I am in a really tough spot. If I just swapped my Walrein, this game is absolutely in the bag. I don't quite get there. And then somehow, they get 2 Vine Whips off. And I only get 1 Powder Snow off. So instead of a, well, hard-fought tie, I'm going to end up with a loss there. Which is super unfortunate, because I feel like I played that game pretty well, besides the one mistake at the end. A lot of energy management and a lot of planning involved. But yeah, very, very sad, honestly. Very sad about that. The Bastiodon lead, I can almost assume that there's going to be a Medicham and probably a Sableye in the back. So this switch is maybe a little bit uneducated, but Sableye versus Bastiodon is one of those where you can win switch, lose shields, but end with a ton of energy. So in this case, once again, I'm going to throw my foul plays all with good timing. If you don't throw with good timing, this doesn't happen. This Bastiodon is extremely XL as well. So barely, like they were just at their move there. They're probably cursing themselves for not quite getting there. But Sableye is just able to do the job if you time your moves correctly only. So in this case, my Sableye doesn't quite get to the second foul play here. Obviously, I'm going to bring the Walrein in here. I'm pretty sure there's a Medicham in the back, right? This is a pretty common team, and Trevenant loves to see the Medicham. So yeah, here it comes. Going with the Trev. I'm going to farm up a little bit. I decided to no-shield the first one, I think, because they can pup and then do whatever. In this case, I kind of mess up. I don't throw my move fast enough, and I know that's a pup, but I kind of have to shield it. And I'm going to undercharge on this Medicham. I need to end this matchup with 2 Seed Bombs, and I need them to non-sneak a move. So we're going to get the perfect undercharge, actually. Actually, that's an amazing... Okay, I'm going to pat myself on the back right there. That was a good undercharge. Going to throw both Seed Bombs. Luckily, they didn't sneak a move. And then go in my Walrein and just get to that Icicle Spear. That's going to be enough to finish off this Sableye. Wow, I don't remember making that play. Yeah, I don't often pat myself on the back, but I feel like that was worthy, I think. That one was worthy. All right, next game. As we climb the veteran ranks. Unfortunately, very late push for me this season. I think this is already the latest that I have not been legend, and I'm not even expert yet. So Sinnoh Cup and Master back-to-back were very rough to me. Either way, G-Fisk lead. Gonna go in with the Sableye. Sableye is pretty good in this matchup. I know shield the first one. They didn't even build up to the Earthquake, so I don't even have to respect it. They actually shield the first foul play, so you know what? I don't mind spending a shield back. I don't really need to win switch here, but I would like to get some good stuff out of this matchup, either shield advantage or energy or what. So I'm gonna no shield this one, I think, because the Rock Slide won't KO, and I think I should be able to make it to this foul play still. And we'll see if they want to take switch or shields. At this point, the G-Fisk is much more manageable HP. I can easily farm it down with another Pokemon. And I don't know who I'm going to choose. I think I choose Walrein. I know. Super Rock Slide, super effective. And it's not against Trevenant, but man, Trevenant has been carrying me pretty hard with these shields down in the back. And yeah, there we go. There's the Deoxys. So good thing I saved the Trevenant. They're going to go for the Psycho Boost and dip. I'm not going to shield. Obviously, actually, no, they swapped, didn't they? Yeah, this was, oh no, they didn't. Sorry, I'm getting my games confused. Trevenant comes in, gonna throw the Shadow Ball right away, of course. And then Deoxys comes back in. And unfortunately for my opponent, this matchup is pretty futile. I mean, Trevenant is better against, Sableye is better against Deoxys, but Trevenant is also not bad. Also, to note, since I'm just bringing it up, and I didn't run into it, but there's a lot of triple counter teams out there right now. You might be thinking, oh, Walrein's so bad against triple counter. You can't run it, blah, blah, blah. But this team beats triple counter. If you play it correctly, all you got to do is swap into the Sableye. You swap into the Sableye, they're forced to bring in the Obsidian, and then Trevenant versus Vigoroth. And DD is Trevenant's wet dream, essentially. So, no problem there. Diggersby lead is, you love to see it. And they're going to swap into Trevenant. Oh, this game. You might be thinking there's no possible way you can lose this game. Diggersby and Trevenant both so terrible against Walrein. So I'm going to swap into Sableye, catch the Seed Bomb. So I know Sableye can handle a Seed Bomb. Can't handle a Shadow Ball, though. So that's why Trevenant Safe Swap's actually pretty good. You can win either Shield or Switchback versus Sableye. But I'm counting. I'm counting moves. We're going to farm down with Sableye. And translate this damage into the Diggersby. They're going to go for a big farm, right? These Shadow Claws. Yeah, battery power 3%. That's right. Shadow, Walrein, taking all my... Yeah, I actually was charging at the time too. So I had to go run and charge my phone at another charger that was faster while playing. That was the highest skill play of this entire match. The rest of it I flubbed. So we're going to need the Fire Punch there. Come with the Walrein. Throw the Icicle Spear. Because I don't want to get hit by an Earthquake. Or so I think. Turns out they actually throw a move, and somehow I do want to get hit by an Earthquake. And the reason I do this is because I thought there's no way whatever's in the back is also weak to Walrein. No way someone is crazy enough right after Walrein Community Day to run 3 Pokemon that not only like kind of lose to Walrein, but 3 Pokemon that get absolutely demolished by Walrein. But yeah, somehow they did. And somehow they won. They even are BMing me with this Aerial Ace spam on my Trevenant. I'm assuming they probably just have Shadow Ball or something. I don't know. It would be a weird moveset to not have Foul Play or Dark Pulse. Unfortunately, Trevenant not going to be able to get to that next move. I shield up because I just want to see how much damage these Powder Stones are going to do to Mana Buzz. This is a matchup I haven't played yet, but my opponent denies me the gift of knowledge, and I'm going to be taken down by this Aerial Ace. Unfortunate. Yeah, so I flubbed that one. The 2 losses in this set, I kind of flubbed. What can I say? This team is giving me a chance to win every single game. Talonflame lead. We're going to throw at 7 Powder Snows because that's how Talonflame does not sneak through moves and win this matchup. Getting to this Weather Ball is kind of important. And the thing is, if they don't throw right away, you get to the next Icicle Spear too before they get to that move. Well, they're at the move, but I mean if they throw another Incinerate or if they overtap. So pretty important play there too, because at this point, I don't care if Walrein goes down. I already took shield advantage. And that's a great farm down for Talonflame. Hopefully there's no Dark in the back. I'm going to shield this Flame Charge. It's going to do a lot of damage. In comes their own Walrein, so... Did I lose CMP to Walrein? I was scared. I was starting getting scared. Sableye loses CMP to Walrein. That's one thing I don't really know about Walrein, is this what it wins CMP against and what it loses CMP against. I have no idea what its relative attack or bulk is yet. But to play it safe, I throw a little bit early on that one. That's okay. My opponent tries to farm me down. Throws the Icicle Spear. And you know what? I'm going to go in with my Walrein. Obviously, I want to force them to throw this energy. I don't want my Trevenant to have to take an Icicle Spear. So, I'm going to come in with Trevenant. Yeah. Still have to shield, but I'm going to try and farm this thing the rest of the way down. And hopefully, just hopefully, they have something weak to Trevenant in the back. And Trevenant has a full move already at this point. So there's not a lot that can beat Trevenant with a full move, except for Trevenant itself. So in this case, what I'm doing there is I actually stopped attacking there to wait for that next Shadow Claw to come through. So once I see the animation, I can throw the Shadow Ball. In this case, though, they try and sack. And Talonflame comes in. I build up to a Shadow Ball and a Seed Bomb. And then I throw my Seed Bomb, take out the Talonflame, and then Shadow Ball, take out the Trevenant. So... able to win that game there. Interesting. They're running kind of a balanced team, right? They've got that Trevenant and Walrein core as well running. And honestly, I would say on this team, Walrein and Sableye make a pretty good core. Like, Sableye's not just a swap for this team. Honestly, I started the team building with Sableye in the first place. It just looked better. It just matched up better against the stuff I needed to beat. All right, we see a Jellicent come in. Somehow they get that move through, even though I thought I threw with good timing. Maybe the switch took a turn this time when usually it doesn't, or the other way around. Either way, they wait for me to throw Foul Play before throwing Shadow Ball, so I get less farm. Very smart by them, very dumb by me. In comes the Azu. A lot of... just... yeah. I don't know. A lot of ABA water. I don't know why people do this to themselves. Either way. Azu, gonna shield up the return actually. So they're making a play to keep that Azu healthy. I'm only gonna get Foul Play off then. and they have a ton of energy. But this is essentially Walrein's job on the team. Just soak that energy up. And that play rough, it hurts. Yes, it sure does. Second play rough also going to hurt. But Walrein, so this is what I'm saying. 2 play roughs on Shadow Walrein, sliver of HP. But I'm going to swap right into Trevenant. And that shield advantage that Sableye created earlier, or Walrein created earlier. No, Sableye created earlier. It's going to allow me to win this game. Because Trevenant in the 2-to-1 shield advantage is going to beat Sableye, especially with an energy advantage 100% of the time. And then Azumarill comes back in. And the reason they don't shield there is because their only win condition, I think, is if I bait with the Seed Bomb. So, very smart play by my opponent, actually. Even though a lot of people might be like, oh, they didn't shield, they gave you that win. No, very smart play by my opponent. That was their only win condition. They shield, they lose for sure. Altaria lead, this is what you'd love to see. Oh, I messed up this game a little bit too. But in comes Azu, and for the Azu switch, you gotta counter switch Trev. This is not the ideal counter switch because Azu will take shield advantage 99% of the time here. But what you can do is take pretty big energy advantage if they take shield advantage. So remember to throw, good timing, 4 or 7 Shadow Claws, or 1, 4 or 7. Don't expect them to shield this. And maybe I should have farmed up a little bit more. But either way, gonna take out, and now they were almost at their move. But yeah, they let me take them out. In comes Altaria, and I thought their play here was just to let their Altaria go down and let their closer in the back try and sweep with 2 shields. But they shield, and this gives me a pretty good chance in this game now. Not only do they have to throw energy at Trevenant, or their Altaria risks going down, but I still have alignment. I've got Walrein against Altaria, and I thought it was a G-Fisk in the back, but it's a Registeel. So 2019 called, and wants his team back. All right, that's my best joke there. But yeah, this was the BBML of season 1, 2, 3, 4, like all the early seasons. This was the best team until Galarian Stunfisk came out. But what this team and playing back then had taught me is that Sableye wins this matchup in the 1 shield. In the 1 shield, you both get to tank a move, and you both get to shield a move, and then the final move will take the other Pokemon out. I look at the timer. It's not quite up yet, or so I thought, but it just comes up right as I throw this move. I undercharge because I forget how much HP this Altaria has. And you know what? We got to go for the full farm down here on Altaria. The win condition is shifted. It's not about taking out that Registeel Sableye anymore. It's all about getting this Earthquake off on the Registeel. So, gonna farm down, grab this Earthquake. This is gonna be a little bit of overkill, but Walrein finally gonna land an Earthquake on something, honestly. Took a while. Walrein is essentially just an Ice-type Pokemon by all means of typing and how it performs. Nidoqueen lead, you love to see this, except you also hate to see it because it's usually double dark, and the Nidoqueen double dark team is almost impossible to handle. If they swap in a Licker or an Umbreon, you kind of have to stay in, and then line up the Sableye on the Nidoqueen. Oh, sorry, the Sableye on the Scrafty, and then the Trevenant on the Nidoqueen. But it's tough. It's tough. But fortunately, my opponent is running Azu, so once again, we're going to see the Azu counter swap play here. I'm going to shield up these Ice Beams. 2, 3, 4. Throw Seed Bomb. Honestly, you can go to 7, but the problem is then if there's a desync CMP, they can actually just take shield advantage again. So Nidoqueen comes in, and I'm going to swap right into my Sableye because I want to preserve this Trev. And it's Medicham in the back, so they swap their Medicham right into that Sableye and right out the top left. Next game, we have a Drapion lead. So this is where you like to see Drapion. Obviously, I mean, Walrein doesn't have the greatest matchup versus it either. This Crunch is going to do quite a bit of damage. But you don't shield the first one because you don't want that debuff. They come in with the Azu, and it's this 3rd game in a row with the Azu safe swap here. Trevenant, well, it's good practice. I threw at 7, so, well, 7 including the Powder Snow I threw on Walrein as well. Gonna shield the Ice Beam. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're at their next Ice Beam. They're probably gonna shield up and then throw because they want to take my last shield. And then once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. The reason I throw 4 is because if I throw 7 and they get the desync CMP, it's what I was talking about, then they get the Ice Beam here and they can take me out despite having a full Seed Bomb ready to go. So I'm going to throw the Shadow Ball here. This does a lot of damage to Drapion. even though it resists it. And swap to my Walrein for the Wombo combo. Icicle Spear, forcing a shield. But this Drapion kind of gets what it wants and takes out my Walrein with a crunch. And unfortunately, I don't really have anything to deal with this, this Drapion anymore. I can decide to come in with the... Yeah. The Trevenant, and in comes the Scrafty. So Scrafty really tough for this team to deal with. The Ghosts actually don't do that poor of a job versus it. But when shields are down, it's much tougher. Those counters don't do any damage, but it's all about the foul play. So at this point, I've seen my win condition. I need to get a return off on the Scrafty, and I need to get a foul play off on the Drapion. So I'm going to farm all the way up right before they get to that foul play. I wasn't sure who won CMP. I could have done one more if I knew I was going to win. And then, unfortunately, that costs me. Otherwise, I potentially would have been able to win this one as well. I'm not sure who wins CMP, Drapion versus Sableye either. But my opponent's going to be able to pull out this victory. Yeah, win condition was in sight, but I played it a little bit poorly. But once again, there's no game besides the Double Charm game where this team has been out of it. Skarmory lead. Going to throw at 7 once again. That's the magic number for a lot of these lead scenarios for this 2-turn versus 3-turn moves. And you have only 2-turn moves on this team, so you only need to remember a couple different numbers. They throw at 5, which is Sky Attack for sure, so I'm going to let that through. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 right before they get to the Sky Attack. Walrein's really low, but guess what? 7 plus 7 is 14. 14 is 3 Icicle Spears. Gonna get this next Icicle Spear off too. The Skarmory is loaded, so they might actually shield both of them. And Walrein takes 2 shield advantage out of the lead. Gonna shield up whatever this is because there's no way they're getting to 2 moves. Yeah. I don't know why they didn't Brave Bird. I even get more farm on the Sableye because of that too. And here comes the Scrafty. So remember when we said Scrafty was unbeatable? Well, guess what? It's not actually unbeatable if you have a huge shield advantage. So this Scrafty, I'm going to throw a move. I don't want to shield here because if they pup, I'm in trouble. And once they throw a little bit early, I'm pretty sure that's a pup. That's going to allow my Sableye to take out this Scrafty with a double resisted foul play and come in with the Trevenant to take on whatever's in the back. And it's a Scrafty. So this is the, Vigoroth. This is the classic Skarmory Vigoroth Trevenant team. I'm going to no shield just to show you guys how much damage this does. Almost nothing. And Bulldoze is even worse. So I see a lot of people throwing Bulldoze at Trevenant. Don't throw Bulldoze at Trevenant. It's not the right move. Body Slam does more DPE despite it being double resisted because Bulldoze is just that bad. So yeah, my opponent fighting to the bitter end. Gotta admire their resilience here. Shield up the Bulldoze and take down the Vigoroth. That's it for this video. That's another 4 wins, I believe. That's a lot of wins, actually. I haven't done a video this long in a while. But there's I just couldn't stop winning with this team. So, I don't know. Had a lot of fun with it as well. I haven't had this much fun. It's a very dynamic team. A lot of energy management, a lot of farm down opportunities. You have a lot of energy gain, but at the same time, you have a decent amount of fast move pressure. So, it leaves your team very flexible. And honestly, playing with new Pokemon is always fun. This is the first time in a while I've been able to debut a community day Pokemon or a new Pokemon. Because usually they're just kind of garbage. Like the last one was Trevenant, and the one before that might have been Nidoqueen. And before that, maybe Jellicent. So in the past year, maybe only 4 Pokemon that were game-changing enough for the Great League meta. We need more of this. We need more Walrein type community days. Even like slightly worse. It doesn't have to be a meta-breaking Pokemon. It doesn't have to be a Pokemon that's on that you see every set. Just every once in a while, you know. Like when Jellicent came out, almost no one played Jellicent right away. I guess it was a different story. It wasn't people that weren't loaded with candies. You had to spend rare candy to play Jellicent on day 1. But yeah, there's plenty of options, I think, for Niantic to look at for community day Pokemon to buff them in a way where they affect the meta but don't break it. And in this case, Walrein definitely affected the meta, but I don't really think it's that good. I don't think it's good enough that the entire meta is going to centralize around it. Sure, we're going to see a couple more fighters, maybe some more Jellicent. People will catch on that Jellicent's actually good now because it beats fighters and Walrein. But honestly, it's not as good as the rankings say, and it's not nowhere near as good as G-Fisk. And until we have something as good as G-Fisk, I'm gonna keep complaining about G-Fisk. But yep, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the the Walrein, and if you guys have stuck around this long to my rant at the end, then make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Sorry for that last minute shill. Thanks for watching, guys.